Hello and welcome. Today we are integrating, unwinding patterns of people pleasing, fawning, and sacrificing your boundaries in favor of connection, which, by the way, is highly intelligent, a brilliant protective pattern from our nervous system. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to get rid of. This is about creating safety for this part of you that needs to sacrifice boundaries, that needs to people please, to reconnect with self and learn that it is not necessary for your survival anymore. We're going to start with the 528 Hertz tuning fork. I'm just going to ask you to notice, what do you feel or connect to when you think about your boundaries? How do you connect to boundaries in your body? Or in your energy field? Now, typically when we think about boundaries, especially in the spiritual sort of alternative community, think about it as an energy field around our body. And while that is certainly a part of our boundary, that energy field has to arise from some place within us. My favorite way to teach boundaries as a vocal awakening teacher and facilitator and someone who's trained in integrative somatic trauma therapy and developmental trauma therapy is to teach it from within and reconnect your conscious awareness to the signal and sensation in your body that tells you a boundary is being crossed to begin with. Toshturu, shturu, ikunumai, shtikururu, ikurumash. Just recognizing that it might not have felt safe for much of your life to feel this inner signal, to listen to your body's communication. Don't mind my puppy in the background if you hear him. He's very vocal. So we're not going to rush this process. Shtukuru, shtukuru, shtukuru. Today I'm going to invite you to consider boundaries not just as you saying no, because we're all familiar with that version of boundaries, but I'm going to invite you to think of boundaries in terms of your sense of self. One of the most common ways that our boundaries get crossed is actually not somebody doing something that we told them not to do. Although that certainly happens. It's actually all the ways in which we tell people about, whether online or in person, who we are. And they make us defend it, they attack it, or they try to change and control it. Because an essential part of boundaries is your sense of self, growing up in an environment where you were not encouraged to connect to and communicate your boundaries also means that we lose connection with our sense of self. Not all of it, but some of it. And so the most common challenge people have when they start reconnecting to boundaries is even noticing in the moment when a boundary's crossed. Tri, 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 tri. Tri, 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 tri. Tri, 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 tri. Tri, 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 tri. One final note here before we get into the integration and clearing. A boundary is not telling somebody else what to do. It's telling them what you will do if they continue to do what they're doing. It's not saying, don't do this, or do this. It's saying, if you do this, I will do this. If you do this, I will walk away. If you do this, I will end the conversation. If you do this, I won't be able to maintain this relationship. Boundaries are about you taking responsibility for the preservation of your sense of self. Oh, shtikiri, 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 oromokoro, shtokurumi, shtokurumi, shtokurumi. But just tune into who is that version of you, that part of you that currently is able to take responsibility for the preservation and protection of your boundaries. Just tune into that part. Maybe it's the higher self. Maybe it's an energy you feel in your heart space. Oh, shtikiri, 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 shtikiri. Oh, shtikiri, shtikiri, shtikiri. Who is able to take responsibility for your boundaries? And even if you can only feel that part of you 3%, just gonna lean into that, just gonna breathe into it. Kurumustru kitriara stirikur. You're just going to invite this part of you into this attunement and clearing, and let them lead. And you can allow the other part of you, the part that has a hard time with boundaries, to just rest and receive and be held. So rather than thinking about boundaries as a field of energy around you, which is certainly true, we're going to connect to that internal signal, that internal sensation that that communicates a boundary. It is this internal sensation, our ability to feel it and to respond to it, that creates that energy of protection around us. Itrikuru, ikirituru. So you're just going to ask this part of you that is ready to protect your boundaries. You're just going to ask this part to show you, where do my boundaries speak to me? Maybe it's in multiple places. Maybe it's in one. Ushku kuru pitri stiatatru tru 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 tru. Ishki siakitri ishkri ku 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 ku. Ishkru, ishkru. You're going to find this center in the body that says, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is who I am. Ikias kurumir. Ishtri shtukuru pakurumira. Istri kiri 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 kiri. You're going to feel this part of you, this center in the body. If you can't feel it, you can just imagine it. You're going to feel how there's this voice that speaks from this center that tells you yes, no, maybe. You're going to feel this voice that arises from this center that says, this is who I am. And who I am deserves preservation and respect. Ikri shtukuru 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 shtukuru. Who I am deserves preservation and respect. You're just going to become as present as you can with this part of you, with this center, with this voice. You're going to acknowledge that maybe you haven't been able to listen to this part, and that's okay. Maybe it hasn't been safe to listen to this part. Just acknowledge that. You can actually speak to this part of you like it's another person. And we're going to imagine a moment where you get to communicate who you are. And it's so easy to communicate who you are. You feel this inner sensation, this inner communication within you that says, this is who I am. It's not up for debate or discussion. Ikri shtutru shtutru. Just feel what that is like, and you can fully imagine it. This inner voice that says, this is who I am. It's not up for debate or discussion. And you're just going to let that sensation, that energy that you're imagining, start to move from that center through your body and out through your voice. And you can make a sound here if you like. It doesn't matter what sound you make. It can just be a tone or hum. And you're just going to let this sensation, this feeling of this is who I am. It's not up for discussion. It's not up for debate. You're going to let this feeling that you're connecting to and imagining into the voice. as an energy. Okuru shtukurumi titriaraya stiri kutrumirai ikiri shtikarunidar kutrumai shtikiritar okuru ru 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 shtiri di 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 kustrumai shtikirirai shtikiridash. Just imagine this moment where you can safely and easily communicate this sense of self into the world. This is who I am. It's not up for debate or discussion. And let that feeling into the sound of your voice. Notice how it shifts your posture. Kutrumas tirikir, kutrumas tiritir. And it's okay if it's hard to feel this. You can imagine it as much as you need. It takes time for this energy and sensation to integrate. Ikirina shturu, 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 shturu. So now you're going to ask your higher self, your center of inner knowing, was this experience of communicating my sense of self something that I had growing up? Did I have this experience growing up? Was I able to express this energy of my sense of self growing up? Just ask that question and see what you receive. Ikuruni tarash, dikiri tarunir, ikiri shtukuruna stiri karur, ishtrukutruma shtiri kitir, innenenenene, 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 ishtururururu. Now you're going to ask the same center of inner knowing, what was it like growing up when I tried to express this sense of self? There's nothing you need to know here. You're going to notice the energy. You're going to let your body show you what happened to this energy of this is who I am. It's not up for debate or discussion. Notice what happened to it as it tried to be expressed through your body. You can take your time here. Close your eyes and really let this energy show you what happened to it. How did it move? How did it get distorted? What did it learn to do to make you feel safe? Okuruni shtiri aku taestini nana shtiri karuni tiri aramir. Ishtiara karumir. You don't need to feel 100% of the discomfort, just 10% is fine. Go light. Okuruni shtirini taranyari kishtiara kurumirash. Kustruni shtiriaraya rikiri rikanunar. You're going to witness in your own body how this expression of energy, of sense of self, learned to reorganize itself, to repress itself in order to keep you safe. Ishtiri, shtiri, shtiri, shtiri. Ukunumana stirikirashir kupuaraya trinininar. Puruniki skurumitash tikiriri. Start to notice where this energy goes. Instead of moving through you in expression, where does it go in the body? How does it move? What emotions come up in association with this pattern? How does it feel? Remember, you don't have to feel 100%. Just 10 to 30% is fine. Don't overwhelm yourself. Ikirinash tirikitrumininari kuikununash titrikautupitarishtinad. Kuaski, 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 kunukita ukunupari. Titiri taturuminash, kutruminash, kutruminash, kutruminash. You're going to start noticing how your physical body wants to shape around this experience. You're going to let this pattern into the body. Do your shoulders slump? Does your head drop? Do you want to turn your body away? Do your legs want to move? Do you feel still? What does your body do as a part of this protective pattern? And you're going to let that into your body. Okay, being mindful not to overwhelm yourself. You're going to feel the full posture, okay? You're going to let your body show you what it wants to do. How does it want to move? Let your body show you the posture that you had to take internally to stay safe. Okurumiti arash tikina nunikinu paitri kisurupiatash. Kiakanu kitiarash tikiriti, tikiriti, tikiriti. Ikumukao sunukistash tistash. Ukurutaosh tistash tistash. Just recognizing that this sacred sense of self is held in this protective pattern. Who you are is perfectly intact. It's just being overpowered by this protective pattern that was important for you. Ishturukumucar, ishtikitar, ishtikitar. Now we don't get rid of this pattern because there is nothing wrong with it. Rather, we integrate it. We learn to meet it slowly on deeper and deeper levels until we metabolize it the same way you might metabolize food. We digest it. There is a part of you that is able to metabolize this pattern, to metabolize the fear, to metabolize the grief, to metabolize the anger. There is a part of you that can go into the sensation, into the discomfort, slowly and within capacity, and integrate it. Ushkurumitai surupitai tikitar. And this same part of you is the part of you that is ready to protect your boundaries and preserve them. And it's the same part of you that is going to create safety for the protective pattern, become like a mother or a father to this protective pattern, so you can choose, if you're ready, to do this work, to move towards the discomfort, to feel it, to process it, to integrate it, to create safety for it. And if you're not ready, you can always come back to this video later. So finally, we're gonna return to this same moment where you felt like you had to hide your sense of self, you had to repress it. You're gonna go back to the same moment where you felt your sense of self get distorted. You felt this energy reorganize itself in order to stay safe. Just feel like 10% of that feeling of having to disconnect from your sense of self and repress that energy. Only this time, you're gonna call in this part of you, higher self, divine mother, divine father, whatever feels right. Doesn't matter what you call it. You're gonna call in this part of you that is ready to lead, to create safety, to create protection. And you can just imagine this energy arising from the heart, dropping in through the crown, and filling your body with love, filling your body with love. Covering this uncomfortable sensation, holding the discomfort, holding the anger or the confusion or the grief, holding the fear. You're just imagining this part of you. You can call in whatever energetic support you desire here to help you feel this. And you can imagine as much as you need to. And this part of you, this protector, this divine mother, father comes into the body, into the channel, into the heart. And it holds all of the sensation in love and safety and protection. It doesn't reject it. It doesn't try to change it. It feels a deep compassion and understanding. And it becomes what you needed most in that moment. You become for your own body what you needed most in that moment. What did you need? What did you need? What did you need? Feel that as an energy. Feel that as a frequency. What did you need in that moment? And you become that frequency. You let it into the body. And you hold that discomfort. You hold that protective program. And notice how you can do both at once. You can feel your protective mechanism. You can feel the way you want to distort yourself, and you can feel the love and the protection and the understanding. You don't have to choose one. over the other. So we're just gonna invite this moment to integrate. There's nothing you need to do here. Just kind of notice what you're feeling in your body, what you're feeling emotionally. You don't have to name anything or think about it. We're just going to just ground in whatever energies have come up for you, known and unknown. We're going to invite them to continue to open and integrate in their own way, in their own time, in perfect service to you. We're going to invite them to continue to work with you while you are sleeping, to unfold within your capacity. Just going to invite your own wisdom, your own intuitive interpretation to arise as well, so you can find your own way through this and be empowered by your own perspective. And just noticing if you need to rest after this. Just being mindful of your body and your nervous system. We're just going to close this process. So I'm going to invite you to close the top of your head, to close the crown. We're actually going to create some containment in your channel. We're not going to invite more energy in. You have enough to work with. We're just going to communicate to the subconscious that this process is over. There might be more for you to work with. There's always more, but we're going to close the process. It's complete. So you can close the door on this process for now and return to it when you're ready. Ukurunierai, 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 ukurunierai.